G'day viewers and welcome back to the channel. Today going for a ride from Binh Tan, where I live, into District 1. Thought I'd bring you guys along for the ride. For the most part I'll just let you enjoy the scenery and the general chaos that is traffic in Ho Chi Minh City. But if I see anything interesting I'll pipe up and we'll have a little chat about it. Like always, if you enjoy what you're seeing here, please help me out by subscribing to the channel, liking the videos. I mostly do this for the fact that I quite enjoy doing the editing and all the rest of the stuff, and I like to share my experiences living in Vietnam. The rides into town are never usually boring. You see some wild and wonderful things. One thing you'll find in Vietnam, there's pretty much nothing that can't be carried and delivered on the back of a motorbike, which is an interesting thing to watch. It's amazing how much stuff they can actually stack on a 125cc scooter. And if that fails, they just build a bigger scooter. For those tuning in for the first time, I moved to Vietnam about nearly 12 months ago now. I'd previously been a police officer in Australia. I medically retired in 2022 after 15 years of service. It's a job that really takes its toll on you over time, and I've found that Vietnam is a place where I can basically be myself, away from the pressures and reminders and triggers of that old job. I haven't found anywhere better, and I'm not looking these days anyway. I'm now married to an absolutely amazing Vietnamese woman, Thao. She's changed my life in so many ways. If you don't like noise, Vietnam's probably not for you. That said, once you're out in the countryside, Vietnam's as peaceful as anywhere that you could find. Big cities are noisy, and that's just the way it is. Roundabouts are always exciting. Sort of no rules. You just get on and get off, hopefully in one piece. I've commented before, but traffic here in Vietnam, it looks absolute chaos, but there is a flow to it, and once you're used to it, it does make sense. Today's quite a pleasant day. It's been overcast all morning, so the temperature's fairly reasonable. According to my watch, it's 31, but it really doesn't feel like it at all. One of the things with in the south of Vietnam, Chi Minh City, is the main time you feel the heat is when the sun's out. When you're in the direct sunlight, that's when you really notice it. If it's overcast, it can be quite pleasant. Now, for those of you that have watched the video I did on Binh Mountain a little while back, I was out that way the other day and went for another visit. They've actually completed the giant Buddha at the top of the mountain they were constructing when I did the first video. I'll put a photo up of what it looks like. It really is a beautiful complex, well worth visiting. It's only a short day trip out of Ho Chi Minh City, not a huge distance to travel, so roughly 70 kilometres, and well worth the trip out there for the day. It's quite easy to stay hydrated. They serve beer at the top of the mountain, so don't let a lack of hydration hold you back. Now, my main reason for coming into town today, I wanted to buy a few new shirts and a couple of new pairs of shorts. I'm going to head to Saigon Square, which is a market very close to Binh Tan Market, which is the very famous market here in Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, pretty much everyone knows of it. We'll be riding past there, so you'll see it on the video. It is generally not where I'll go to shop. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's definitely worth seeing. The vendors can be a little bit more aggressive, is probably the wrong word, but they'll definitely try pretty hard to get your business. My main reason for not going there is it can get very, very hot in there. It's very narrow passageways, lots of people. The heat in there can be pretty extreme at times. That said, definitely worth a visit, and it's an experience that, well, you can only get there. I generally go to Saigon Square. You can get pretty much anything you can get in Binh Tan Market. The prices are the same. I mean, like anywhere over here, you have to negotiate, so that doesn't change. But again, you're still in fairly narrow things. The vendors don't seem to be as pushy, and the biggest plus is it's air conditioned, so it's a little bit more comfortable. Walk around and look at what you want. Now, as far as negotiating prices, I see a lot of people say, oh, I get ripped off at the markets. Well, if you take the first price they offer, yeah, you did get ripped off. Right? That's the starting place. You start at that point, and then you make an offer. Now, the important thing is to be able to convert your currency into Vietnamese currency so that you have a rough idea of what you're talking about. So for Australian dollars, because I'm Australian, 6 Australian dollars is roughly 100,000 Vietnamese dong. So that means 500,000 Vietnamese dong is around 30 Australian dollars. So if you've got that in your mind, you can work out on the fly the pricing, and that prevents you getting ripped off a lot as well. Well, not necessarily ripped off, but paying more than you think. Now, the negotiation process is easy. Work out a price in your head that you think's fair, and that's your price. You'll say it, they'll probably say no, they'll come down a little bit. If you're not happy with it, you still think it's too high, you walk away. Now, when you walk away, one of two things will happen. They'll call you back and agree to the price, or they won't. And in that case, just walk on. Find another vendor. There's heaps of them in there, all selling the same stuff, so it's not like you're not going to find the same thing. One thing I will say is sometimes, and I've seen people do it, they get hung up on just trying to screw them down to the lowest price possible. I'm to the point where people are arguing over 50 cents. Now, is it really worth it? And if you want it, buy it. If you don't, don't. Simple. Bit of TV removal service there. That cannot be comfortable. Yeah, so with the negotiating, just have a bit of fun with it as well. It's how they do things. They want to get as much money as they can, and that's fair enough. You want to save as much money as you can, and that's fair enough too. And they know that. So, but ultimately, as I said, if the price is something you're happy with, well, pay it. One thing I will suggest with the markets is when you first go into them, have a good walk around first before you start actually looking for someone to buy from. If you see someone with good prices, you can certainly go back later, but often you'll find stuff that you want at a better price, and you've got a bit of an idea of the layout, so where everything is. But probably the most important thing is don't get flustered and upset when they're, as I said, using the term aggressive. They're after sales, and they'll try and convince you to buy off them. If you don't want to, wave your hand, keep walking. They're not going to chase after you or keep nagging if they know they're not going to get a sale out of you. And that's one thing, especially with the street sellers, whether it's lottery tickets or the little souvenir trinkety things. If you're staying in District 1, they're everywhere. They'll have a little basket in front of them full of cheap lighters, key rings, fans, all sorts of stuff. Now, if you want to buy something from them, that's fine. And again, you can negotiate the price, which is easy enough. But ultimately, that's their way of making money. So they're going to come up and ask you if you want to buy something. Now, I'm not saying some of them aren't annoying, and I've certainly had a couple of cases of that where they just don't seem to want to leave you alone. Walk away. But the majority of the time, whether it's the shoe shine people, those sellers, whatever it is, just shake your hand, say no, and don't look at them. Don't look at what they're selling, because if you're saying no, but they can see your eyes are scanning across everything they've got in their basket, they still think they've got a chance at a sale. So, Jesus. So that's one of the common mistakes. Basically, I've been sitting down having a beer, they'll come around, just wave your hand, go no, or kom, which is no in Vietnamese, and I just have my eyes down at the table, and they might ask a couple of times, then they'll walk away. They're not going to waste time if they know you're not going to buy it again. So that's the easiest way to deal with them. And again, as I said, don't get angry at them. That's their livelihood. A lot of the girls that are selling that stuff, they're actually from the north. They come down here for basically 10, 11 months of the year to work. They're away from their families. And yeah, they're just trying to earn a living. So you can't begrudge them that. One thing I see a lot online and people talk about are scams in Vietnam. Now, personally, I've probably been overcharged in a taxi a couple of times early on. Taxis are easy, don't use them. There are that many rideshare apps where you can get a motorbike or a car, Grab being probably the biggest of them, and it's probably, you know, the most universal one, so you can probably get a Grab car anywhere. Chi Minh City, like this little turquoise aquamarine car here, they're a rideshare mob, taxi mob. They all have apps, and the thing with the apps is when you put in your destination, it tells you the price. So there's no surprises. That's the price you're going to pay, but I believe there's Grab, Gojek, I can't think of the other one. I mainly use Grab, it's just convenient. Grab you can also use for food. So if you pretty much all food is available in a takeaway delivery format here. You just order it through Grab and they'll deliver it for a couple of dollars. So that takes out the taxi scams. However, if you are using taxis, the Vina Sun, the white ones, which I think one's just turning in front of me now. Yeah, that one there. They're fairly reliable as far as pricing. But again, as I said, if you've got any worries at all, just use the rideshare apps. Beyond that, pickpockets, you know, like general stealing, that sort of stuff. I've never witnessed it or been a victim of it. But like most things, it's a case of prevention's better than cure. Now, I'm riding today, I've got my wallet in my side jean pocket where I can feel it. It's easier rather than the back pocket where someone could pull up behind me and lift it out of my back pocket. shorts with zip-up pockets are great for that as well. It's just an extra layer of security. Ultimately, it's just making sure you're not advertising expensive stuff and basically not having it secured. Like, I have my phones in a phone holder on the motorbike here. It's a very secure one, like they can't rip that out. So just things like that. It's about keeping things safe. Walking along the footpath, having things in your opposite hand to the road so that no one can come along on a motorbike and just grab it out of your hand. So simple things that help prevent those things from happening to you. As I said, I've not seen a lot of it. I know it happens. It happens in every city, happens anywhere, especially where tourists are. That's just how it is, unfortunately, in this world. But again, overall, I've found Vietnam to be a remarkably safe country. Crime isn't anywhere near as prevalent here as in Australia, for instance. Probably because they actually punish criminals here. The West seem to have decided to not do that anymore, and well, the results speak for themselves. Oh, bus. We'll let him go. You should be able to see in the distance there the, what is it, Bitexco? I think it's Bitexco. Probably just butchered the name of that tower. Looks like Iron Man's Vietnamese residence. I don't know. Hey. Alright, made it pretty much into this one. We're in District 1 now. Pretty quick trip in today actually, I'm quite impressed by that. It's actually kind of strange coming in here. I start seeing Western people, which out my way you don't see too often, and it sort of almost becomes a strange thing to see them. Now, if you go one street over to my left, you'll be in Binh, I probably pronounced that wrong too. It's the walking street, the one with all the nightclubs and bars, and honestly, it really is something you have to experience for yourself. You got loud music blasting out of these venues out onto the street, and it all mashes together as one. And as I said, it's quite the experience. For drinking, very expensive. Their prices are inflated over what you'll pay elsewhere. In the restaurant, I normally pay anywhere from 20 to say 25,000 Vietnamese dong for a beer. Down that street, you pay 80, 90, 100,000 a beer, which you're getting up to around $5 or $6 a beer. There are a lot of alleys that run off that street, and further down, a lot of little bars, and you'll often see a lot of Westerns sitting at them. They've got prices similar to what I was just saying, as far as the 25, 30,000. So much cheaper drinking, and then you can go for a walk up the street. But definitely worth experiencing, even if it is just a walk down the street. So you can see up ahead on the left there is the Binh Tan market. Actually, while I'm here, I'll just show you a couple of places. The restaurant on the corner here, I don't know how to pronounce that, it's a Singaporean restaurant. Absolutely amazing food. I'll probably come back here and have some lunch later. Have the best sweet and sour chicken I think I've ever had. There's a little hotel just here, and this is the little street I stay in when I'm in District 1, or when I was staying in District 1 to get my teeth done and whatnot. The beauty of staying in this little street here, as you can see, you're very close to the centre of town. Ben Thanh Markets, probably 150 metres across the road. I'll pull up and I'll just show you the little hotel here. That's the one there, which you can hopefully see. I'll take a picture of it and put it up anyway. Very reasonably priced. I think it was about $26 a night when I stayed there. It's a nice quiet little street, so you don't have the loud music noise if you're staying in and around the walking street. You got this restaurant on the corner, which is magnificent. Their menu is extensive. I'll take a picture of that too when I come back and have something to eat. And yeah, just overall it's a good little area, close to everything. And the price is right, that's the main thing. They finished all the construction on the Ho Chi Minh Metro Line 1. leave it open sometime this year. This spot here used to be home to the probably very well known roundabout, which is now gone, probably for the better. But yeah, so we're just travelling past Binh Tan Market, and it's probably only 70-80 metres further on you'll find Saigon Square. And again, as I said, I choose it because it's just easier. It's air conditioned. You don't have the hassles with everything. And across the road you got Saigon Centre, which is a more traditional shopping mall with the higher end shops and whatnot. And prices to match.
Vạt điều hòa Kangaroo giảm 50% chỉ còn 2.490.000 đồng. Máy lọc nước Kangaroo biến nước sinh hoạt thành nước sạch, trả hết 0% của người bán.
Alright, we're here. Hope you've enjoyed the... Yeah. Up here? Okay. Not anyway. Alright, parked in the right spot. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. I found it somewhat informative. Probably talked more than I planned to, but you get that. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys.